I don't give a shit. It's time to roll.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared. Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Let's just fire it up, right?
Yeah.
Get right into it.
Fuck this movie.
Yep. So we're back to do our full breakdown of the 2015 Point Break remake.
Yep.
movie that no one asked for, that no one needs.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
So frustrating. Well, do you want to give a quick recap of what this movie's about in case people out there live under a rock and have never seen the original Point Break?
Yeah. And if you haven't, go watch the original Point Break because it's arguably worth watching.
It's infinitely better than this remake.
Oh God, 1,000 times. Yeah. We'll get to it, but I was gonna say they changed it too much and not in any good ways.
Yeah.
So this movie, because let's differentiate it.
Yeah.
Is a young FBI agent infiltrates an extraordinary team of extreme sports athletes he suspects of masterminding a string of unprecedented, sophisticated corporate heists.
Yeah.
Way different than the original movie. In my opinion, even the log line, really, like if you think about it.
Yeah. The only thing that's the same is young FBI agent infiltrate
sports. Yes, that's it.
So what did we? So we did a trailer trash. I think what was our expectations? What did we prognosticate about? I think we just named.
We gave up, kind of.
I think we gave up. It was
we definitely quit.
Yeah. I was tired, I think, and we were just tired of thinking of this movie. I mean, I think we pretty much said it was going to be the same thing, right? But what we wanted it to be was really leaning into like the Robin Hood aspect of it, because that's what we thought it was going to be doing, and it kind of did.
I don't think that's true.
No, I mean, they like totally like lean into it, but I mean, they were kind of like pulling a Robin Hood kind of thing-ish, right?
They did try to make it the plot, but very half-assed.
Yes, poorly done. Oh man.
Oh, I hated it. I hate I'm like, the more that I think about it, the angrier I get. The more that I think about the original, and then I'm like, oh right, that was different. Or like, oh yeah, that was different. Too much.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna get to the budget, but basically this movie was just $100 million like vacation for everyone. That's all it was. So, but let's get into the quick info here, right?
Yep.
All right. So this was directed by Erickson Core.
Cool name.
Yeah, Erickson Core. So
I don't like you, Erickson Core, but actually, well, I don't know. The movie was maybe well directed. I don't know. I don't think the directing was the main gripe here. It was the writing and acting.
Which, I mean, the director is supposed to be in charge of, kind of guiding some of these things along. But yeah. He's mostly done cinematography. He did cinematography for like Fast and Furious and stuff like that. So
okay, I mean, it looks nice.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, the
nature shots were cool. Like all the extreme sports shots were cool.
Yeah.
Objectively cool, not valuable to the plot, but or interesting or good, but objectively cool.
No, and the only thing he's directed, like he directed Invincible, the Mark Wahlberg movie.
Never saw it.
Yeah. And then other than that, no, I didn't see it either. And then outside of that, he's just in like TV. He did a couple episodes of MacGyver, and then that's it. But he's mainly looks like he's just big in the cinematography side. So
interesting. Okay, well, stick to what you're good at.
Yeah.
Advice to all of our listeners as well. Stick to what you're good at.
What you're good at. It's good to try things, but if you find you're not getting good at it, do something else.
Yeah, go back to what works.
Now, who put us in this situation? So we've got screenwriters. There's only one screenwriter, so it's Kurt Wimmer wrote the screenplay. It's a story based on a story and characters created by Rich King and W. Peter Iliff. So those guys wrote and did the original Point Break. Now,
Rich King or Rick King?
Oh, Rick. What did I say? Did I say Rich?
Yeah, but I mean, they're the same name.
Rick.
I guess. Probably both Richard, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Rick King. Rick King. So
cool.
Now, Kurt Wimmer. Let's get into this here a little bit.
He's the guy I've got beef with. So
yes. So it's kind of crazy. He wrote the Thomas Crown Affair in 1999. That would be, I guess that's a remake too. He's a big remake guy. That's what's going on here. So Thomas Crown Affair. Before this, he did the Total Recall remake, which was terrible.
I didn't see it. I didn't want to subject myself to that.
Law Abiding Citizen, which I think could potentially be on our list to do.
Okay.
Ultraviolet.
Didn't we like do a trailer trash for that in the cut episodes? That's the one with the driving around.
Yeah, and it's
with Mel Gibson.
No, Law Abiding Citizen. That's our boy G Butts there, Jerry Butts.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Jerry Butts and Jamie Foxx. So
yeah, thank you.
But it looks like he basically just writes these kind of. He did Ultraviolet.
Okay.
Basically, he writes these kind of middling action movies.
Yeah.
Salt, The Recruit, Equilibrium. Thomas Crown Affair was actually good, so maybe that's
okay.
Why
people trust him now.
Yeah, and he did Children of the Corn, another remake. He did 3 remakes in a row there. Holy smokes. Total Recall.
I didn't know that
Point Break.
Children of the Corn remake.
I didn't know either. It looks like it 2020 it came out. So
interesting.
So yeah, so he's the one to blame for all of the problems we're currently going through.
Okay.
In the entire world.
To see it.
Yeah. So who's in this movie?
Ooh.
Édgar Ramírez. He's our top build. Well, yeah, I guess he's our top build, right?
Yeah.
He plays Bodhi.
Friend
of the pod. Édgar Ramírez. He plays Bodhi.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Bracey, who plays Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Australian guy.
Yeah.
We uncovered in the trailer trash.
Yep. Ray Winstone, who's good. He plays Pappas, basically the Gary Busey character of the 91. He's in it for like a minute, 2 minutes.
He's the best character in the whole movie.
Yeah. Delroy Lindo, who plays Instructor Hall, FBI Instructor Hall.
Okay.
Teresa Palmer plays Samsara. Samsara, is that her name? Yeah.
Samsara, yeah.
And then the crew here, we got Matias Varela plays Gromit. Clemens Schick, power name right there, plays Roach. Tobias Santelmann is Chowder. And then Laird Hamilton plays the surf vagabond.
Good. I mean, everybody needs one of those.
We all know Laird Hamilton too, right? Professional, famous surfer. So.
Yeah, and I do also appreciate that they let Édgar Ramírez and Matias Varela just like have their accents too, because like they didn't make anybody try to not be themselves, which I appreciate, except for Luke Bracey. Who was not allowed to be Australian and instead was told to be fake Keanu Reeves, and
it actually sounded like they overdubbed his voice almost in some scenes.
Yeah,
like they came back in and re-recorded with someone else's, someone else did it.
They probably did.
Yeah.
I'm not giving Luke Bracey any credit here. Fuck you. If you want to be on the podcast, we'll think about it.
Yeah, so that's the gang. That's the primary characters we got here. So
yeah, a lot of characters.
There is a lot of characters
compared to some of the ones we've done recently.
And as you and I said though, Gromit and Roach were basically the same character. Just make them
and Chowder.
Chowder. They're pretty much the same. It's just copy paste.
Yep.
Different accents. That's all. And Édgar Ramírez, he is from Venezuela, right? In real life.
Yep.
And they made him Bodhi from Venezuela in the movie too.
They did.
So,
okay,
that makes it easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Production budget, all this revenue and stuff. So worldwide, you ready for this? How much money this movie made?
I don't know. Do I have to?
Yep. $126,704,591.
That's too much money. Why would anyone?
Yeah.
That's like 34,000 fanatics.
That's so many.
So many.
Yeah, domestic it did 28 million, and internationally it did 97 and change.
Wow, another 97 international. That's
and then
wild.
DVD home sales it did about 6 million.
So who wanted to own this?
People who wanted like the original and this one would be like, I've got the Point Break box set. My bookend movies.
How could you?
Why would you?
Yeah, horrible.
So in the budget on this, 100 million.
What?
So I think this movie probably just broke even then, right? Because like, what is it, 25% usually, or 20% of your budget, your production budget is usually marketing. So this movie,
at least,
right? Yeah,
I think now it's more usually.
Yeah. So I mean, this movie probably just about broke even, maybe, on marketing and stuff. But
wow, That's unfortunate still.
Yeah.
Like someone should have been punished for this movie.
Yeah. I agree. Or just be like, okay, just stop doing this. Let's just stop.
There have to be consequences.
You can't just keep getting away with shit.
Not like this.
And Rotten Tomatoes right now, it sits at 11% on the tomato meter and 29% audience score. So
very generous audience.
Very generous audience, yes.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the quick info. Any comments, questions? No? Why? I can't answer that.
Yeah, you can't help me with the questions I have.
All right. Well, why don't you try and Hollywood pitch me here, motherfucker?
Okay. All right. I kind of doubled down on sportsy movies, but I think are both.
That's fine.
Right. Like this movie doubled down on sports movies. So like if you cut out all of the all of that chunk, it probably would have been 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you cut out any of the dialogue or any this is very generous character building. If you just cut all that out and stitch together just the action scenes, it's just like it's like one of those extreme sport videos you buy and put on a background like we talked about in the trailer trash.
Right, so. And it's the bulk length of the movie, like probably a feature film of that.
Yeah, snowboarding. Cool.
Okay. Anyway, where I'm going with this is Chasing Mavericks meets Brick Mansions.
Okay.
Have you seen either of these?
I don't think I have.
Okay. Chasing Mavericks, great airplane movie. If you are like, happen to be stuck on a plane and it happens to have Chasing Mavericks.
Oh, I thought it was like you meant like it was a movie about airplanes. That was like,
no. Oh no, it's a movie about surfing. But yeah, it's very bad, and you watch it on an airplane.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right.
Like. Not bad enough that we could do it. I think it's I just checked 33% Rotten Tomatoes.
Jesus.
But like bad enough that it's almost unwatchable. Anyway.
Yeah.
So for starters, surfing is a big component, which is only a medium component in the Point Break remake, but is a heavy component of Point Break, the spirit of Point Break, I think. So
it's
let's start with that. And not just surfing, but extreme surfing. So the premise of Chasing Mavericks, right? Also, Chasing Mavericks is a true story.
Like Point Break.
Just like Point Break. That's right. So it's about this kid who gets saved from drowning in the beginning, like as a kid, by like his surfer bro friend, Frosty, which is a great surfer name. That's why I also like them, because they've all got great surfer names like Bodie. We have Frosty.
Yeah, you have to have a good one, right?
Right, exactly. And Frosty's basically his mentor, and teaches him how to, like, his goal is like, I gotta surf Maverick someday. And Maverick's apparently like this giant hurricane wave, just like Point Break, right?
Yeah.
And it's most of Chasing Mavericks is like a training montage. Like it's like him like holding his breath and stuff. It's very frustrating and annoying, as you can imagine, but it's based on real life, so you can't make it super exciting, because real life's not that exciting. And then, not to spoil it for you, but at the end, our hero Jay goes to surf some Mavericks against everyone's advice, because it's dangerous, and dies.
The end.
Yeah, I mean, that is the end. Like, it's a sad story. He's 22 years old and he dies.
Jesus.
But he got to surf some big waves. So.
Yeah, he did what he died doing what he loved. So
yeah. I mean, and Andy also got to marry his love interest here that he met as a teenager.
He's 22 and he got married?
I think because he knew he was going to die horribly.
He's going to in
a surfing accident.
Okay.
Yeah. Very prescient. So anyway, that movie, don't watch it. Also, friend of the pod, Gerard Butler is Frosty, plays Frosty. Yeah.
Oh.
How can I forget to mention?
Yeah, G-Pots, come on, man.
The kid doesn't matter. The kid's like some, I don't know, Johnny Weston, if you know who that is.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't need to.
No.
I guess he's in John Dies at the end, but Jerry Butts. Great movie.
Yeah.
So meets Brick Mansions. Now, are you familiar with this one, even if you haven't seen it? Paul Walker joint.
Yep.
So second to last Paul Walker movie.
We've talked about this. Yes.
Brick Mansions?
Yeah, this has come up in the past. Somehow this came up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I used it, right?
No, we didn't use it for a pitch, but we discussed this at some point. I remember.
We talked about the events leading up to Paul Walker's death, probably.
Yes. Pretty much. Yeah.
A lot of death heavy so far.
Yeah.
Well,
so gloom.
It's only going to keep going.
Yep.
So like Point Break, Brick Mansions is a remake, and it's a remake of a French movie called District 13.
Les Brick Mansions.
Have you heard of? Yeah, exactly. Have you heard of District 13?
I have.
Yeah, it's like famous like parkour movie.
Yeah. Yep.
And so they do that in this too, but Brick Mansions they don't do enough parkour, ironically, and that's part of what makes it bad. It's got anyway. Okay. It's like they turn the story into kind of like there's an undercover cop who's like infiltrating this crime operation. The crime operations are actually supposed to be like the people think that they're like saving the world kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah.
They have a lot in common. Very frustrating. Nobody interesting dies in that one, I don't think. But yeah, it sucks. They all suck. All these movies. Was there anything else that was in?
It's pretty good.
Riz is in it.
Oh yeah,
So doesn't make it better, but
but it's good to note. Good to call out.
Yeah, and yeah, what do you got? Right, that's what I can't think I could make anything else in common with you.
Yeah, no, I think that was good. No, I think that'll tracks for me. So
thank you.
I'm gonna go with friend of the pod and our first episode ever. I'm gonna go in The Last Days of American Crime meets Extreme Ops. And I'll get to what that is in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Last Days of American Crime, we got a lot of connections here. One, we got our buddy, friend of the pod, Édgar Ramírez, right?
Yep.
Lead guy. And in that movie, he plays a thief, bank robber.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So kind of going with that connection there, right? So
you're connecting to original Point Break more like I was too. So great job.
And meets Extreme Ops. Now, Extreme Ops is a 2002 movie with Rufus Sewell. And
who's that?
Guy from Man in the High Castle.
Oh, I never watched that.
Dark City. So Extreme Ops. This looks pretty terrible. But the plot of this is while some group of kids or guys or people are filming an advertisement, some extreme sports enthusiasts unwittingly stop a group of terrorists. So it's just a whole bunch of extreme sports stuff that they do throughout the entire movie. Snowboarding, helicopter stuff. It sounds
kind of fun.
It actually does. And like I'm watching the trailer right now and it's like, oh, this looks like goofy, stupid, but they're just, doing all these tricks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I would watch this.
And that's it.
So also rated PG-13.
That's covering all of the extreme sports aspects. So
love it. Great work, team.
That's what I'm going with. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
You got fast facts for me? I heard you said there were a bunch of good ones.
Do I? Yeah, I've got quite a few here. So I'm just gonna start barreling through them. Right.
Give it to me. All
right. So we'll get this out of the way. So we got two cameos from the original 1991 Point Break. Okay. We got two cameos from that movie. So. Actor James LeGros, I don't know, who played Roach, aka Richard Nixon in the original, plays assistant director of the FBI. He is the guy in the trailer who's like, why would they just do it like a normal person?
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And the other cameo is Bo Jesse Christopher, who played Gromit / LBJ in the original, plays just the FBI director.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. So that's
cool.
Yeah, you got some cameos rocking there.
Yeah. Huh. That's great.
Teresa Palmer who plays Samsara. She did most of her own stunts, despite being this being her first acting job after she gave birth to her son, also named Bodhi.
You're gonna say also named
Teresa. Also named Teresa Palmer.
Interesting. That's weird. I don't like that her son's name is Bodhi.
Yeah, I don't either, but hey.
But good on her for doing. Although, are we giving her a lot of credit here because she didn't really do any cool stuff?
Yeah, dude, she really wasn't in the movie, and it was like, I hate how her character was used.
Remember when she climbed that rock?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, she did it herself. Sweet.
I guess we shouldn't belittle. I shouldn't belittle people for things that I can't do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd be like, that seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'll just watch you do it.
Yeah.
The flying squirrel wingsuit scene.
Oh yeah.
Takes place early in the film. Was all choreographed and flown in real life, taking place at the quote unquote the crack in Wallenstad, Switzerland.
Oh.
The sequence was edited together of multiple jumps, all flown by some of the best wingsuit pilots in the world. The crew spent a period of 3.5 weeks in Switzerland, and the wingsuit pilots did the jump more than 60 times to get the right shots.
Huh.
So
cool.
Fun one, right?
Yeah, that is fun.
The film takes place over the period of about a month, but it took close to a year to shoot and was shot in over 10 countries and 4 continents. They really went all out in that travel budget.
I was going to say that's definitely where all the money went.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like you go through in the Wikipedia and you can see like all the places they went to. It's like, yeah, this was just $100 million vacation for everyone.
Makes sense.
Coming back, it all comes back around. G-Butts, Gerard Butler, was the first person cast. He was cast as Bodhi, later dropped out due to scheduling conflicts.
Interesting.
G-Butts could have been Bodhi. That would have been
I think that would have been worse, right?
Yes. yes. It would.
Like decidedly?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Good.
The super yacht that was in the surfing scene, I think in the opening there, is called the Ocean Emerald, and it can be rented for $100,000 a week.
Oh,
I think
that seems like too much.
I think I know what we're doing for our 2-year anniversary.
You know it. Listeners, if you want to chip in for that.
Yeah. We'll open up a Patreon for that.
Yeah. Send us an email and tell us that you want to send us money, and we'll find out a way to get that from you.
I think I know what we're doing. We're going to watch YouTube videos of the Ocean Emerald.
Okay.
Next one isn't really, it's not really a trivia, but it's a kind of a goof, I guess. I don't know. It's also just a stupid one, but Johnny Utah's knuckle tattoos are kind of facing the wrong direction.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, not kind of, but I was like, this is
like just actually facing the wrong direction.
Well, yeah, they're like, he's like, normally when you first, when a person makes a fist that, you look at the person can read it, but they're set so only he can read them. Like if he's looking at them.
If he's like, oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's stupid.
It's like, why would you do that then?
I mean, his character's not a genius.
Not the brightest. Yeah, not the brightest cookie in the lunchbox or whatever.
No, run with it.
Luke Bracey, our Australian, the other Australian, won the role of Johnny Utah after an extensive audition process, and he got the part due to the fact that he seemed real and unaffected, according to Kosov, who I don't know who the Kosov is. An added bonus was the fact that Bracey has been surfing and playing rugby since childhood. Of course, he's from Australia. They all play.
Unbelievable.
Patrick Swayze was 38 when he starred in the original Point Break in 1991. Same age as Édgar Ramírez when he starred in the 2015 Point Break. Look at that.
Oh, that's kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah, it's a fun one, right? Okay, you ready for this? We're halfway there.
Yep.
Tom Hardy, Colin Farrell, Hugh Jackman, Jeremy Renner, Chris Hemsworth, the other Australian, and Garrett Hedlund were considered for the role of Bodhi.
Really?
Yeah.
Garrett Hedlund.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And the rest there. That's
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, two Australians in there, right?
Yeah.
Taylor Kitsch, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Chris Pine, Chris Pratt, and Sam Claflin were considered for the role of Johnny Utah.
What? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who half those people are, but
okay. Yeah.
I feel like Chris Pine and Chris Pratt would have both been terrible.
Yeah, probably not the right. But
No.
look what we got. So
Yeah. You're right. It was worse.
and you like these? Édgar Ramírez, who plays Bodhi, starred in Zero Dark 30, which was directed by Catherine Bigelow, who directed the original Point Break.
Did you know? Fast fact for you, if you don't, that Ridley Scott was originally supposed to be the director of the original Point Break.
I did not know that. Nice.
That would have been a weird one, right?
Yeah, that would completely different movie.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen was considered as the Keanu Reeves character.
Oh man. Somehow there'd be androids in that one.
Yeah. I think it was supposed to have Matthew Broderick in it at some point. Anyway, would have been weird, right?
Yeah, it would have been really weird.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that This is a crazy one. So the closing credits last for 13 minutes and 30 seconds.
It's so long.
It's so many credits. I guess it's
Do you think it's
travel, all the traveling and
all the traveling stunt coordinators probably, right?
Yeah. Okay, moving along. So we got Erickson Core, the director. He previously directed the film The Invincible. The Invincible has a music score by Mark Isham.
Okay.
Isham wrote the music score to the original Point Break.
Oh.
That's a fun one.
I mean, the music wasn't something I have a gripe about.
Yeah, it didn't really jump out to me either, but yeah.
Yeah, it was acceptable.
You're going to hate to love this one. Point Break is the second remake to feature Delroy Lindo. He was also in the Gone in 60 Seconds remake featuring Nicolas Cage.
What?
I don't write him.
All right. Cool. Nick. He's British. Yeah, you know that was
Nicolas Cage.
He's doing an accent too. No, Delroy Lindo.
I did not know that.
British American.
So the Angel Falls sequence. Angel Falls is a, I guess, famous waterfall in Venezuela. That whole sequence was towards the end of the movie. Pretty expensive one. They had to build a structure that cost upwards of $500,000 to build.
Wow.
It consists of a platform that's approximately the size of a football field just beneath the summit of the falls where the crew set up camp so as to not disrupt the environment by making camp on the ground. Because it's like I guess it's like a contained, disrupted like waterfall or like area in Venezuela.
I mean, it looked cool. Like, undisrupted.
This guy Kosov comes off again. I don't know if maybe he's a producer or something. He likened the shoot at Angel Falls to a full-scale military operation.
That's weird.
Or just say it's a pretty big operation.
Was he in the military?
Yeah. It's like,
I have questions.
Yeah. So and following that, so legendary Angel Falls is protected, and such required much participation from the local government as well as numerous permits. So yeah,
that's a bad fast fact.
You can't just get in there and just do whatever you want. All right.
I mean, everything generally requires a bunch of permits and contracts.
Yeah, that's just life. That's how it works.
That's just life. Take note, listener.
Fucking permits. That's permits. All it is. That's all you need. All right, this is the last one.
Okay.
The script for the remake had been lying around for years, but it was not until Erickson Core, the director, pitched his idea to Warner Brothers that the film finally, the film actually got off the ground. However, Core's idea for the film was significantly different than the script. His concept was much more of a big tentpole movie with scenes that defy the laws of physics.
What? What? What?
There you go.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, his original idea was just to do a shot-for-shot remake, which I would have maybe enjoyed more.
Maybe. Nope.
Devastating. Well,
there you have it.
I feel facted.
All right. Well, do you want to just keep moving with this train?
Let's fire it up.
All right. Spoilers within. Whew.
Heavy spoilers.
Heavy spoilers.
And probably for other movies too.
Yes, most likely.
Don't listen to the podcast if you haven't seen most movies.
Yes.
Should we disqualify all of our listeners that way?
Yeah.
Keep the podcast.
Yeah. Kaiser Soze is.
ITMT, the podcast for fans of movies.
All right, so it opens up. We get our production companies, we get and distribution groups here. So we got Warner Brothers, Alcon Entertainment, and DMG Entertainment. So I think this was like a German, Chinese, American combination. That's just probably why it's such a dumb script, by the way.
Interesting.
I think it's why it's a really simple, dumb script, because a lot of times they'll dumb down movies so it has a bigger international audience, and translations and stuff like that are easier to do.
That makes sense, I guess. Less nuance, more
like this was
translate.
It's made like, of that 97 million in international, I think, I forget how much it did in China, but like the bulk of it was done in China. They made in China. So
interesting. Weird.
Okay. Yeah. So then what do you else?
I was trying to adjust my volume for this at the beginning.
Oh God, it was obnoxious.
I didn't like how during Warner Brothers, Alcon, or DMG, there was no sound at all.
Yeah.
Like I like when a movie has somewhere that I can calibrate to. Yeah. And then the initial like shot of the desert sequence too. And I get that, like, why they did this for effect, I guess.
Yeah, because they wanted to stand out when the bikes came in.
Yeah, but it was also silent. I was like, what do I do? Like, is my TV broken? Do I have to restart things here? Like, was very frustrating for me.
I ended up putting on the closed caption. I couldn't hear anyone talk. And it would and I have it up and it'd just be so fucking loud, all the effects and sound and everything else. But then I couldn't hear everyone talk. I'm like, this is obnoxious. Just come on.
I had my TV at 98%.
Holy smokes. Yeah, I had mine up to like 24, 25, and I usually don't go past like 10 or 12. So
yeah. I usually don't go. I feel like most things we watch are like 50, 60 is like a reasonable range on our TV. Yeah. Not 98. Just so I could hear anyone say anything.
Who is doing any of the audio here? Get it straight. It's driving me nuts.
It's probably 5 or 6 pages of those credits that we.
Oh, God. I'm going to write a letter to someone on that list.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in like a valley, desert, mountains area. I think this is actually Utah. And we had two bros doing some dirt biking. Yeah. And we meet our hero, Johnny Utah, and another bro. His bro, Jeff.
Yeah.
Johnny
and Jeff.
Me amo, Jeff.
Jeff. And they're looking for YouTube hits. They're trying to make YouTube hits here.
So I couldn't hear anything they were saying at first, so I missed all that.
Oh, okay. That's what they're doing. And it does make the rest of the movie make slightly more sense.
Oh, it definitely does.
Yeah. But they're like they're like joking about being paralyzed.
Which is
like it's really weird.
Yeah.
Dialogue at the beginning of the movie. Like he's like basically the guy, Jeff is trying to convince Johnny that they shouldn't do this the whole time.
Yeah. And he's like, this is a crazy. Yeah. He's like, this is a crazy run, man. You shouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. And Johnny's Utah's like, nah, bro, we got this.
Yeah. He's like, all right, well, let me know when you're paralyzed. And he goes, don't worry. I love smoothies. And everyone's like, oh,
what?
Oh.
Like, what? Who's laughing at that joke?
Yeah. And then I didn't get this. So because they were looking for you to make YouTube hits, and it made more sense later on in the movie, but I figured that they were trying to get started making YouTube hits. And my initial reaction was, where did they get this helicopter from?
Yeah.
like why, like, how do they have the resources to do all this? They're like sponsored and actually YouTube famous. We'll find out in a couple of scenes. But.
Yeah. Later on. So then they're like, visors back on. Let's hit it. He calls up the heli. He's like, yo, heli, we're doing it. And then cue the rock music, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just dirt biking for a good 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm so bored already.
I was like, this sucks.
Like, I think these, even though we had a lot of fast facts, we had a lot of maybe a lot of extra content during the pitches. I think this will still end up being one of our shorter episodes because we're going to do things like that. Like, and this is when they dirt bike for 5 minutes.
Like
you can imagine.
Yeah, and then put it to some rock song, and that's it.
Yeah,
I think they do this for every major event they do, right? The surfing and the snowboarding. So,
yep. So this will be a quick one.
Oh man. So they're dirt biking around, and Johnny Utah hits this ramp and jumps across this little cavern to like a standalone like rock structure, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like, how are you planning on getting back? Well, I guess they have the helicopter. So he makes his jump across. I don't think the ramp was there for him and his shot, but then for Jeff, there it is. So then he takes off his helmet. He's all fired up. He's like, yeah, bro. And then he's yelling to his buddy who is 150 feet away on a dirt bike with a helmet on. He's yelling, yeah, bro, come on, do it, bro.
Yeah.
And his buddy hits the ramp. He hits lands it, but he kind of overshot it and he slips over, back tires, like hanging off the edge of this standalone cliff thing, right?
Yep.
Helicopters flying by and Utah's like, oh, bro. And he runs over, right? And he grabs onto just the bike and the kid's like trying to like kind of get it back up onto the.
Which I understand, I guess.
Yeah, I think you give that a shot for like a brief. Let's give this a quick try. Hey, this isn't working. Let's do something else. Like, how about you just grab your friend? Like, just grab his arm.
Hop off. Just jump.
Just grab his arm and just pull him over.
Yeah. Yep.
No. So
this is on Jeff too. Don't just put all this on Johnny.
No, yeah, it's on Jeff too. It definitely.
Jeff's a dum also.
Yeah, he's not the not the brightest cupcake in the tool shed. So
as the expression goes.
So then that doesn't work out, and he just slips and falls to his death.
It's so funny.
It is. like it's listeners, you get a sense of this. I texted Jared after I saw this because I was laughing so hard, and I was like, "Man, I can't wait to watch this because this opening sequence is hilarious." He just falls, and he's like,
you.
"Yeah,"
and then I was like, "This is so funny."
he just falls. He's like,
he literally goes, "No." Nobody tries anything. Like everyone's just like, "Well, I guess there's nothing we can do for Jeff."
And then it just cuts to title card, Point Break. I was like, yeah, point break your neck when you fall off the cliff there. Like,
insane.
Oh, God. Yeah, so there we are. We're at Point Break. So he lost his best friend. So we cut to FBI training there, right?
Yep.
And we're kind of cutting between this and the chat with Delroy Lindo, the instructor hall there. We got Utah doing some shooting there, showing that he's an accurate shot, which will come back later on in the movie.
Yeah, doing a little FBI training montage.
Yeah, a little bit, right? And we get an overlay 7 years later after Jeff's drop to his extreme drop. So then we got this like ton of exposition moment between Utah and Delroy Lindo, instructor hall there.
Almost all of it.
It is so much exposition and like literally telling you who he is as a character, telling him all his credentials. He went to high school, got his, GED or something like that when he was 23 because, he's a dumb.
Yep.
And then went to
but that's not that wild.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like, he was like, when I went to like law school, like years after all my friends had already graduated, and we're like, wait, you're like in your mid-20s. Like this seems totally normal. Yeah. What are you talking about?
This isn't. This isn't extreme education here. This isn't extreme education.
The first thing I'm furious about also happens here. They changed his name. They changed the character's name. Why would you do that? Oh yeah, Johnny Utah is not my name. It's actually a nickname from YouTube. Did you like sleep through that part?
I must have completely missed that.
Yeah, he goes what's his face? The
Delroy Lindo, instructor hall. Yeah.
Instructor hall here. He goes like, Utah, blah blah blah, and he goes, actually, sir, my name's Johnny Brigham. Utah's a nickname from YouTube. They just changed his name to Johnny Brigham. They're like, oh, we need to make this sound more Mormon-y. Like, it's funny because it's like kind of like Utah, because like Brigham also, and like,
yeah.
But it's so frustrating.
I did not catch that. That's pretty. Yep. That's pretty
Utah's
stupid.
A nickname from YouTube. He goes by Johnny Utah on YouTube, and that's why.
Is it because he dropped his friend off in Utah?
It's because he's from Utah originally. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That is like, why even bother do it? Why does that even matter?
Man. I can't believe you didn't realize that. Yes, it made me so angry the whole rest of the movie.
God. Yeah, that would have just been like, I would be like, what? Why would you change the name of the character? It's a remake. Like Pappas is still Pappas. Yeah. Just make him Johnny Utah. It's fine.
So frustrating.
Oh my God.
Bodie's still all the other characters have exactly the same names. Why can't he have the same name?
This movie's hurting my head again.
Yeah, sorry.
That's anyway. Okay. No, that's good. I'm glad you called that out. So then, Instructor Hall is just like, I'm not sure you want this, and you need to show me. And it's like, yeah.
I know what happened to Jeff.
Yeah.
Weirdly throws it out there.
Like, what?
I know about Jeff.
What is happening with this movie? So this is like the first fucking 8 minutes of this movie. So then so that's done. And then we recut to FBI like academy like debriefing room, right? And it's got all the cadets are in there, and Delroy Lindo is kind of going through showing footage of this new group of robbers here, right?
Wearing president masks, kind of.
A little nod.
Different.
Yeah.
Not as good as the original ones, but
yeah. We learn about their unusual skills, So the setup on the video behind him is Bodie and the gang on motorcycles, right? Yeah. Riding motorcycles up an elevator, through a floor, stealing a bunch of diamonds, right?
Yeah.
And then Instructor Hall is like, and knowing that there was police on the ground, they improvised, and then it shows them riding their bikes out of a window of the building, like a skyscraper building, right?
Yeah.
And then them just parachuting away. Yeah. Which, wouldn't you just be like, let's just follow them until they land?
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
I think you're onto something there.
just they're up in the sky. We can see them.
Yeah. Also, I have another quick gripe here. So again, I wanted to do some money math on some of the claims in this film. So they say there are 10 million carats of diamonds stolen.
I thought it was 100 million.
No, they say later it's 10 million carats of diamonds.
Oh, 10 million.
It's 100 worth $100 million, right?
Okay. So 10 million carats.
Yeah. Worth $100 million.
Yeah.
10 million carats of diamonds is worth like $13 billion. Like way more. Like way on the cheap end. Like way more. Like, an insane amount of more money. Why I don't understand why they would not make it right in the script.
just do like a Google search.
Yeah.
That seems like an easy fix.
If you're gonna put all these specific numbers in the script, like
confirm it. Just confirm it.
Do a little basic math anyway.
So they're kind of doing like a Robin Hood thing here, where they stole the 100 million in diamonds and then they just dropped them into like one of the poorest slums in Mumbai. Which
they dropped $13 billion worth of diamonds on some poor people in Mumbai.
Yeah, which like the next day, like government or they came through and just like we're taking all this back.
I mean, first there's that. Like no one can sell any of these diamonds, right?
Yeah, like it's like they're stolen, so. Like, right. You're not helping anything.
Yeah. Also, like you drop this on Mumbai, like, let's say it's 10 million carats of diamonds. There's 23 million people in Mumbai. What an enormous place. Like, where did you drop these? Like they say Mumbai, like it's like some kind of
like a town,
like a tiny town.
Yeah, like a tiny town. You're just like, there you go.
Yeah. No, it's like one of the most densely populated cities in the world.
Well, they gave it to the poorest of the slums, though. So,
right.
Oh my god! So then we're in the cargo plane, right? This is actually from the trailer.
Yeah.
Same thing. Them coming up to the floor, and this is actually from the trailer. I was like, oh, it's got like a Dark Knight Rises vibe to it, and it was not nearly as good as I was hoping it was going to be.
It was terrible.
Like it could have been really cool. I don't know. I feel like it could have been better. It
was so quick and boring. The interesting part, they just like cut through, and then they're like, "Oh, let's make him just in the air the whole time."
It's like, what's going on? So there's pallets of cash basically in this cargo plane. It's a U.S. plane with U.S. dollars there that they're shipping out somewhere. They liberate this cash, slide it out, do a skydive to it, grab it, pop the and all the cash just goes flying everywhere, and it rains down over some village.
Right. They make it a plot point, some village in Mexico. They make it a plot point of they also like flip off the security cameras that are apparently everywhere, that they never have caught any of these people doing all of these like wild crimes.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Oh, this is going to be brutal.
Like these are like, unlike original Point Break, these are extreme crimes.
Yeah.
Like Point Break was like, oh yeah, like they're bank robbers. Cool. New Point Break, they're like, oh no, what if instead of bank robbers, they just stole $13 billion worth of diamonds, and then dropped like, also there was like another $100 million or something like that in cash that they dropped out of the plane. Like, these are like the largest scale robbers of all time. Like everyone in the world, Interpol would be after. Like it wouldn't just be the FBI. This wouldn't be an FBI operation.
No, no, definitely not. Like,
insanity. I hate this.
Oh God. So anyways, we get the setup there, and then we're back at the FBI kind of headquarters here, some FBI building, right?
Utah gets the report back on the situation.
Yes. So we get a quick update to Utah. Some dude just passing him in the hallway. He's just like, yeah, there's a crazy heist that just happened. It was a U.S. plane. They stole money. Like, who is this? What is going on? Like, why?
Yeah.
And then this is where things kind of move very quickly, and Utah kind of just pieces it all together. He's like, based on the two incidents, right? He starts connecting, and he connects another extreme sport river rafting thing that happened, and he thinks that they're all connected, and he explains this to Instructor Hall, right? Who's, of course, he's going to be the audience and be like, what are you talking about? How is this going to work?
Yeah.
Then he very quickly jumps to a theory that they're doing this thing called the Ozaki 8. Like, what?
Yeah. Can we talk about some of their other like exploits so far?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Like, they're the first people to navigate and survive the Inga Rapids. You're like, what does that mean? They're like, oh no, everyone has ever died doing all of this stuff. They're photographed base jumping from the peak of Mount Everest. What? How do we have all these photographs and no one can identify any of these people? You don't just like climb Mount Everest either. Like,
Yeah,
it's not like it's like there's so much gear. There's so many things you need to just to make it to the top. So frustrating.
Oh God. Yeah. So yeah, he's got the theory that they're doing the Ozaki 8, and
which is a series of ordeals.
Yes,
they call ordeals.
He and then he gets into talking about how this guy Ozaki was an eco warrior. Yeah. And he's one of the first recognized, and I hate this term. I hate this term so much, but he's the first recognized extreme polyathletes. So I hate that phrase. I don't know. I just don't like it.
I know, me too. I love it.
And he's going on about how you do these 8 ordeals because they're, you should die if you do them, right? They're extremely difficult. They're extreme, right? And he says it's about spiritual enlightenment, and completing all 8 would be impossible. But if you do complete them, you'd achieve total nirvana. Mm-hmm. You achieve complete consciousness on my deathbed.
Yeah, which I wonder if making the biggest focus of this movie around Nirvana a nod to Point Break coming out in 1991.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Fast facting everyone here.
Yeah, right in the middle. Yeah.
I could be an idea. I'm going to put that on IMDb.
Just add it in.
We know that anyone can do whatever they want on IMDb.
So this Ozaki 8 it is real. It's a real thing.
What? Wait, real? I'm glad you looked this up because I did not.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Well, I'm kind of rolling through this with this, but yeah.
Oh, we're doing this live together?
Yeah, we're doing this together as we go.
So what are the 8?
Is that the so-called Ozaki extreme sports guru does not exist. So the character guy Ozaki doesn't really exist. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is stupid. This isn't. Are you reading this?
It's like, it's not real, but now it is.
This is the dumbest website ever.
This is incredible.
Oh my God. So stupid. Anyways, all right, fuck it.
I'm so happy right now.
So this was Ozaki 8. It's 8 ordeals going across the world. You do crazy extreme river rafting, wingsuit thing through the Alps and whatever, right? And basically, this gives them a list of like where they're going to be next. So.
Yeah, wait. Can we just read them for the listeners because they're not as familiar with the Ozaki 8?
Oh yeah.
I got them right here. Don't worry.
Okay, go for it.
We've got Emerging Force, Birth of Sky.
Well, each one, right? So Emerging Force is whitewater rafting in the Inga Rapids, right in the Congo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Birth of Sky is base jumping from Mount Everest. Yeah.
Awakening Earth, right? Which is.
Awakening Earth is skydiving into the Cave of Swallows in Saint Louis Potosi, Mexico.
Yeah, that's where they were. Yep.
Saint Louis.
Yep. Life of Water, which is just like all of these are very specific, and then Life of Water is surf a wave over 60 feet tall.
Oh my God.
Life of Wind, which is a wingsuit proximity flight between unclear, like between like a gorge somewhere. Like you just have to do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just wingsuit anywhere. Life of Ice, which is like I don't like none of these expressions like phrases even mean anything the way that their words are put together, right? Yeah. You're snowboarding down an unridden mountain, any unridden mountain.
That's it. Could be in your backyard.
Yeah. Master of Six Lives, which is the free solo climb in Angel Falls that we talked about already.
Yeah.
And then the act of ultimate trust, placing your life in the hands of nature. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yep. Yeah. So he put this all together, and then now they're off to France because that's the third one, right? Or what? Was that France?
The legend is here. They've already done 3. Ozaki died on the 3rd one, so these guys have surpassed Ozaki.
Yes.
Like these guys are really extreme.
Yeah, and the one in France, that's the one where they do the wingsuit one, right? Is that the next one?
No, not yet. They have to do they haven't done the surfing yet. This is the surfing one.
Oh, that's right, the surfing. I'm sorry. Yep, surfing's right. Okay, right, which is important. So so
once in a decade, 80-foot plus waves we're talking to storm out off the coast of France. And we got Utah is doing his first briefing here. Like we're back in the briefing room that they were just in. a few minutes ago.
8. That sounds like a Kurosawa like samurai movie. The Ozaki 8.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Right?
Well, actually, it sounds like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Like to go through these trials.
Yeah, it's a Kill Bill meets
Seven Samurai or something.
Yeah.
All right, so we're in the big conference room now, right? FBI conference room, and Utah's giving this big speech to bigwigs because apparently as a cadet, he's been given his instructor hall is like, yeah, sure, this sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and then I love immediately they reinforce that term that we both hate.
Oh.
All right, well, listen, everyone, I was what's called an extreme sports polyathlete. It's so stupid.
And then he goes on to say like how he thinks that these guys are chasing the same thing of doing the Ozaki 8 or doing a poly 8, whatever. And there's like a weird, terrible CGI background on the video screen behind him too, and like it was just a picture of him like on a dirt bike on like on a course or something. Like, what are you doing? What? This is the stupidest presentation ever. Like, what are you doing? I was laughing so hard on that one, and then we
I was also laughing at they're the first to make a sky-earth transition into the Cave of Swallows. It's like, what's a sky-earth transition? What does that mean? Like, are these all real extreme sports words that we're gonna like get? Like half the ITMT listeners are extreme sports fans, and
right.
Oh, you guys don't know about sky earth transitions.
All you gotta do is Google search it.
Yeah, bro. Watch the X Games much?
So he's giving this terrible presentation. We get James LeGros there popping up for a cameo. He's roaching the original film. And everyone's kind of like, yeah, this is real cool story, brah. But why? Why is this happening, brah? And then
we need to find out.
You're like, what? I would have been like, yeah, no shit, asshole. Like, what? That's what we need to figure out. That's what you're going to say to all your upper,
all of the people that you just met. Like,
that's what we need to figure out. All right, so then we're in the FBI hallway. We get Utah and Inspector Hall giving a little chat there. Inspector Hall's like, yeah, they didn't buy it, but I do.
Yeah. Nobody ever believed you.
You're an instructor. You're an instructor. What do you? You don't get to do covert operations on your own here.
You don't have the authority for this. Instead, he gives him like a temporary FBI ID.
Yeah.
Do they do this?
Getting your driver's permit and you're like, yeah, go to France. Get in there. What?
Also, like the FBI is like very explicitly like domestic.
Yeah, we talked about this before. Like at this point, you start going international, you would need to pull in the CIA and or probably whatever in that country or that area, right? Like Interpol, like you said, like you'd have to loop them in. You can't.
Yes.
Or maybe that you have to, but you should.
Yeah. No, we've got FBI operatives in France. Don't worry. Okay.
So he's like, yeah, you're gonna go to France. You're gonna meet Agent Pappas, Ray Winstone,
why couldn't he be Gary Busey?
Yeah, right. Like, what's the Buse doing? He's not right. Just have him bring him back.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's your mission. Find them and figure out what they're up to. That's it. If you choose to accept it. And then we get to France and we meet Pappas, and he doesn't give a shit about Johnny Utah or what he thinks, right?
Yeah. And Johnny's like telling him, he's like, well, no, we got to go out in the middle of the ocean here, and like do stuff. And Pappas is like,
I don't give a shit.
Like,
okay. Yeah, let's just go. So they get on a boat. They're on a boat, motherfucker. And we get that quick shot of the trailer, him taking off his shirt, showing off his sweet, freshly painted on tats. And then there's just a party out in the middle of the ocean, and the Black Keys start playing.
So obscenely dark.
Yes.
Like they're brand new.
Yes. Yes. And very, very brosives. And then there's just a big party in the ocean out there. We got yachts, we got boats, we got people in bikinis, we got surfing around, blah blah blah. And we got some Black Keys playing, right? Is that Black Keys tune?
I think so, yeah. And listeners, so you can get a sense for like how the dialogue in this movie is, in case we haven't given you enough already. When Pappas and Utah pull up to this group, they're like, oh, like, yeah, finding these people in the ocean will be like finding a needle in a haystack. And they're like, well, guess I found the haystack. And you're like, what? No, but you're supposed to be finding the needle. The ocean's not the haystack. Like, stop mixing the metaphors like this.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's the best.
Not the sharpest apple in the fruit cupboard, right?
Yeah. So Utah and Pappas just like roll up to these surfer bros, and they're like, "Oh, yeah. Cool! Like, yeah, you going out for a run right now?"
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this thing, and this
you don't
thing
know this guy.
Yeah, you don't like what? You don't. What's going on here? And also, it just feels like a spring break, like MTV Spring Break or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing that's I think important to note here is that like all of these guys that are the partiers are like in their mid 30s, like
yeah,
like they're definitely mid to late 30s probably, and like Pappas is in his 50s easily.
Yep.
Like no one here should be on spring break behavior.
Just living it up, man. Just living up their life.
I guess so.
So Utah, he's pretty much in heaven, right? Got the surfing coming. He's all fired up, and then he gets queued up to hit the waves. And Pappas is like, "You surf?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've surfed. You ever surf anything like this?" What the fuck?
Nope.
So he gets queued up, right? And then this whole sequence is kind of weird. So he gets queued up, and then Bodhi also gets queued up, and then it's like Bodhi's wave to go get, right? And then he snake. Look at us using the terminology already. Totally snakes him, bro.
Snaked his wave, bro.
Snaked his wave, bro. Right. And then there's like there's like terrible, like weird chatter from the boats of like the observers being like saying these things like, "Oh man, look at that. He totally snaked his wave." Like what?
Yeah, that guy's gonna get someone killed. He's snaking his wave.
Yeah, like just filling it in for it. Like what?
And like
not cool,
also,
bro.
in the interim here at somewhere, there's like Utah sees Our Lady here.
Samsara.
Yeah, our soon to be love interest.
Yes.
They make eye contact, kind of, and it's like, oh, you're like, good foreshadow.
Ooh, oh, she's lovely. Yeah. So then, we're surfing now for a good another 5 minutes or so, right?
And he's definitely going to get someone killed. I agree with all the bystanders here.
He's an idiot.
He's gonna hit Bodhi, right? Yeah. And then obviously he crashes because he's not used to this. Bodhi has to go save him because it's not Point Break, the good version where everyone is in a good surfer.
Yes. Yeah. This is
no.
All right. So then we're on the Bodhi boat. Bodhi.
Yep. Nighttime.
Right.
All of a sudden everything's fine.
Yeah, and he just wakes up and he's like, "Oh man, fucking wicked wave, bro."
And if he's been actually unconscious because of almost drowning for that many hours, like significant brain damage, right?
Probably go to a hospital.
Yeah. Oh, you came to 8 hours later, bro. What?
I was out for 8 hours. Yeah, man. Like, so then, it's just bros being bros, and they're chatting now, right?
Yeah. You're the guy I snaked, right? that was almost the quote for that.
Oh, so bad. So yeah, tats and chats. All these bros got tats. We're doing little chats, and we got Bodhi just being calm, cool dude. He's like organizing, I don't know, stuff, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and they recognize him.
Yes, they do.
Roach recognizes him immediately.
Yes, as being a dirt bike guy from YouTube or something like that, right?
Right. They're like, "Oh, you're that famous extreme sports guy," and then he also recognizes Roach immediately. Roach is also a famous,
like,
and that's where I'm like, how are these guys famous and not caught?
Yeah.
Like, if all of these people are famous,
they're extreme polyathletes. Wouldn't you do a little homework and go check all the extreme? Anyways, yeah. So, and then oddly, Roach slaps away a roach from his buddy. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yep, that was weird.
So they all know each other, whatever. And then we get a walk and talk with Bodhi, right? Not his boat. We learned it's not his boat. We learned that there's was he a prince or something, Al Farik or something. He's basically sponsoring him. He's just got a shit ton of money.
Al Farik.
Al.
It's not like it's Al Farik something. I think his name is Al Farik. Like he is definitely like some kind of
the on the subtitles. Did you have him on? It was Al Fariq, like Fariq.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god. So so we learned they've got basically a sponsor. This guy just gives them money to, I guess, to go
do extreme sports.
Yeah, be eco warriors, I guess. I don't know. Like, what?
It's so stupid.
Yeah. Eco warriors, and you have all these boats that you're just like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Pouring gasoline into the ocean.
Yeah. And then it's party time. This is party number 1 or 3, I think we have in this movie. So party time. Yeah. And then we got like Bodhi's definitely the man of the hour. He's just saying, yo, what's up, chick, hanging out. Oh, we did. I should call out Laird Hamilton was the guy on the jet ski that pulled Utah out.
Oh, nice.
Then we get like him going through, and we get all the cameos from like real extreme athletes are popping up. You can tell because they're just like focusing on him, like handshaking these people. And it's just like, all right, let's.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
And then Utah's just like following him around, whatever. Right. And then he's like, how do I know about you, whatever. And they have a little back and forth by YouTube. And you can say this quote because this is a good one.
If a tree falls in the forest and no one puts it on YouTube, did it really happen? That one?
Yeah. Yes, it did. It still happened.
And that's kind of the point that the Bodhi character is making, but it's not.
Yes. No, it's
It doesn't come off that way.
No.
And then Bodhi's just like, all right, well, you're on your own. Enjoy the party. And like walks away.
Yeah, and then it's like, and also the audio in this, again, like the audio in this party just sounded like 3 or 4 people like post recorded themselves being like, yeah, okay, and then just like pasted that over. Like, it's so bad. And then there's just gratuitous shots of like people's butts for like 30 seconds. Like, what?
Yep.
Okay, so then we're now in the front of the Bodhi boat.
They're trying to do a Last Days of American Crime thing.
Yeah.
It's like just gratuitous naked people, but it's PG-13, so you can't.
All right, so we're at the front of the Bodhi boat. Still nighttime here, right? And this is where we meet the soon-to-be love interest, Samsara, and they move pretty quick, huh? They are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is fast. Hey, those things happen. So Utah's doing some flirting with her. We get a little spiritual conversation back and forth, and then she just jumps into the water, into the ocean.
Yeah. I do like, she's got some good lines. Like when he's like, oh yeah, like you were out there earlier. Did you see me surfing? And she's like, yes, I eat shit. And like, yeah, she's got a couple other good ones about nature, but then she dives off and Johnny reminds himself that he's an FBI agent. This line was so stupid too.
Oh,
you remember that part?
Yeah.
Right before he jumps into the ocean, like after her, he's like, come on, Johnny, you're an FBI agent. Well, provisional.
Like, what?
Like, cut this whole scene.
Yes, just have him jump into the. No one has that inner monologue out loud. Like, just do it.
No. And then
so he jumps in after, but then they cue some R&B music or something, and
yeah,
and then they're just doing like an Avatar, like underwater sequence.
It's like 3 or 4 minutes of swimming, and also like. Did you catch this? That they were like grabbing rocks from the seafloor to help them sink faster? To, like,
yeah.
I was like, what are they doing? This is a movie. Like, we've already suspended enough disbelief. I think we can, like, we don't have to have them pick up rocks to sink faster.
Yeah. I'd also like, this is a long, I'd be like, I'd be dead. There's no way you're staying underwater.
Yes.
But they're extreme. They're extreme. They got extreme lungs. So
I guess right. Chasing Mavericks.
So then they surface, and then they have another little spiritual moment there. And
what does samsara mean? He just says to her, blurts out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She goes, wanderer. What is this conversation? Why does her name have to mean something?
And then the whole philosophy is like you don't you choose your path, and like Bodhi keeps repeating this, whatever, and he's like, oh, it's I thought this whole path thing, and she's like, well, sometimes choosing not a path is choosing a path. I don't know. What is happening?
Like, oh, what does Russ mean? Nothing. It means nothing.
It means fucking jack shit. I don't.
It means Russell.
Yes.
Names don't have to mean something.
Oh my God. So we've introduced her, and now they've got a little bit of an interest going with each other. And then, we're still in the Bodhi boat, but the next morning, right?
Yep, exactly. Bodhi's watching Johnny sleep.
Yeah, I mean,
like a
creep. Yeah. And he calls him out about, and they have a little back and forth here where it's like, oh, a little hidden conversation here about, that the reason why he didn't get that, why he crashed in that wave is because he has no fear, but on the wave, it was like a lack of respect. So we get into a little more of Bodhi's like philosophical, respecting nature and,
it's
whatnot.
Stupid. Yeah. It's like he doesn't back any of it up well, which is weird.
And then they have like a back and forth about like what they're both like kind of seeking, which is like, obviously us as viewers, we know what Bodhi's trying to do, but do we, like, is he falling into this crowd, or, I don't know.
Yeah. And then I love the little like Utah says like, oh, you're chasing the 8. And he goes, that's a myth. But then we spend the rest of the movie just doing that. So
yeah,
why would, if he said it, why would you say that's a myth? He's already called you out on it.
Yeah. Like what the logic. Now I like talking through it. Yeah, the logic in this is all just terrible. All right, so then we just cut right to a car ride. We're in a car ride where it looks like a car ride from like the old James Bond movies, where it's like it's clearly visibly like a fake scenery in the background. It's so bad.
Yeah. You see the same green screen bushes go by 3 times.
So Pappas is basically, was that fun? You have fun there, You have any evidence? What are you doing here? He's like, I'm going to ship you back, whatever. And then Utah's like, no.
I heard about something going down in Paris
tonight.
I've got to check it out.
Got to check it out. It's like, kid, you're still like you have training wheels on. What's going on here?
Yeah, and then you can't just do operations like this in other countries.
It's like, even if you get that evidence, they're just gonna be like, yeah, that's not gonna.
It doesn't work. Nothing works like this.
And then we cut to pretty much like a Volkswagen ad after that conversation. And it's just like, it's literally a car ad. It's just cool shots of a Volkswagen car driving through the countryside of France, I guess.
Yep.
And and then Pappas is basically like, you got to give me evidence you want to stay in this case. And like, we know this. You literally just said this like 2 seconds ago. And then it cuts to like a nighttime shot of the car, another car ad. It went from daytime to now nighttime car ad of them driving around a town. And it's like, what is happening right now?
Well, it took all day to get from wherever they were France to wherever they are now France. So.
Oh my God. The other side.
Paris, I guess. They're in Paris now.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, man. All right. So, I mean, I don't know. It feels like a good spot to kind of...
Yeah.
Will they? Point break this episode.
Yeah, well, you're using it better than they did. So.
Yep. Can't wait till we get to that. All right, so that's that's part 1. I don't know. Will they get to Paris? Will they make it? Will Bodhi become an FBI agent?
Good questions.
I don't. I don't know. Will they complete the Ozaki 8? Is Ozaki 8 actually real? It is now.
Will they make Johnny Utah say Viago and Diaz? We'll find out later.
Yeah, part 2. So thanks for everyone for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with part 2. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. Right Team Pod on Twitter, and wherever you're listening. Google, all those other things. Just subscribe or follow or something.
And while you're subscribing and following, you can also be reviewing. Drop us a review. 5 stars would be nice. Maybe a little comment or 2. If you put words in your review, that also helps the algorithm. And you gotta please the machines. As we all know.
We all know. Our masters, our overlords.
That's right. Yeah. And if you want to send us something more long form, you can't fit it in the review. You've got too many words.
Oof.
Send us an email. We love
so much to say.
It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com, or go to the website, find all of the old episodes, more information about me and Russ, maybe some hidden Easter eggs.
What are there?
No,
I guess
maybe.
I guess I'd be spoiling it if there wasn't.
Yeah, I said maybe some hidden Easter eggs. And yeah, all that is at itsthismeetsthat.com. And while we're here, should we plug your other podcast, Russ?
Oh yeah, sure. If you're into listening to two people who've never written anything talk about writing and who are writing their first books, you can go check out another podcast I host with my friend Tim Letney. at writersyndrome.com. So two authors just trying to make it, in this world.
Yeah. If you like listening to Russ,
which, I mean,
not be funny.
Yeah, there's no humor on that side.
Yeah, go listen to that. It's interesting. I like it. I've listened to half of the episodes so far.
Oh. And they're only like a half hour too, you jerk.
I know. I'm working on it. I'm working. They're good. They're good. I'm trying to dole them out to myself in small doses. So I can binge them all eventually when I've got a nice big trip coming up.
Yeah, because we're only doing them once every 2 weeks. So
that's right. But I'm downloading, so you get the credit.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, hit that like, subscribe, download button.
Everyone, download both our podcasts.
Yeah, just do something in your life.
That's right.